December 31st, which means this is the last day of the month, which means it is time for our celebrity gossip tea recap of 2024. The hottest stories from January to December. Some months have more than one because it was a wild month. Some of them just have one. And also at the end, we're going to do my personal opinion on the hottest story of 2024 that seemed to come up at least once every single month. So you can let me know what you think, because I think some of you are going to disagree with me on especially the last one. But from month to month, you may disagree with me. My opinion, you can let me know your opinion in the comments and we can discuss over there. But let's get started. January all the way to December. Let's go. In January, it was the Golden Globes Awards, and Selena told something juicy to her best friends, Taylor Swift, thinking it was about Kylie Jenner, but she claims that it was not. She claims it was about two of her friends hooking up, but people in the comment sections had to disagree, thinking she was gossiping about Kylie. This is the hottest topic, in my opinion, for January, but this is before I really got deep diving into all the gossip and tea, but this is January's for me. February's would be the Who the Did I Marry, the 50-part series of this woman's life, her husband, what happened. Literally the craziest freaking story you could ever imagine. It took the internet by storm. Everyone was completely intrigued with it. Her so-called husband even came to the internet to give his side of the story, but at that point, everybody was against him, but he did at least come on here and try to defend himself. But I feel, in my personal opinion, that was my favorite story in February.
Please excuse the hair, but here is part one of Who Did I Marry?
March was a big month for the royal family as they were putting out photos of Kate Middleton that was AI generated, that people were pointing out all these weird things, that it just did not match up with the lighting, thinking that her and the prince were getting a divorce. But unfortunately, ultimately, we came to find out that Kate was battling cancer diagnosis. Now she is doing better as far as I know right now, but that is what was going on. These were AI generated, but only because Kate was battling something privately that they did not want the world to know just yet. But this did take the internet by storm in March, and people were speculating so many different things that was going on with Kate, but unfortunately that was ended up being the story, was just the cancer diagnosis. So on to April. April was the month of JoJo Siwa's rebranding from cute JoJo Siwa to whatever this JoJo Siwa was. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people were talking about her negatively, but honestly, in pure JoJo Siwa fashion, I don't think she cares whether the talk about her is positive or negative, as long as people are talking about her. But this started the whole rebranding of JoJo. News is calling the biggest rap battle of the century. It was between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know a whole lot about this story, but when I was going deep diving back into the news and what I had posted about, this was one of the big topics that I found. So this one is not my personal opinion. This is just the one that everyone else seems to think was the hot topic of May. Was when I really started posting my content of the news, true crime, tea, gossip, all of that. And my biggest story for May was the Micah Miller case that is still currently ongoing. The FBI looked into John Paul Miller's house not too long ago for something that completely different, but this is my personal story for the month of May. This is also when many of you started following me on TikTok, so this was a big month for me in my content creation, taking a different step than what I was previously in. June is when the Hawk to a Girl Haley Welch viral video went out, and honestly, she's done an amazing job staying relevant. She has a podcast now, but she also just came out with the Hawk to a Coin that is looking like she may end up being arrested for that. So that may be a big story for the year 2025, but this is the month that Haley Welch went into hiding, but then made her appearance, came out, and honestly just took the internet by storm.
One move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time.
You gotta give him that hawk to and spit on that thing, you get me?
July was a big month for Clinton Kane and Brooke Schofield. Some of Brooke Schofield's old tweets came about in this month as well, but the big story was about Clinton Kane's Who Did I Date, Not Marry, Lie Number, etc., etc., etc. honestly didn't help him at all. Probably honestly helped Brooke Schofield more, but then she just ruined it by getting in the gossip multiple times more this year over her tweets, over her new boyfriend. But this took over the internet by storm as well. Everyone was reading this, everyone was listening to it, everyone was talking about it. This was honestly probably the biggest story of July.
Who did I date, not marry, lie number 16.
Where Miss the Beast games came out and the allegations of the bad environment that these contestants were in, and all of that started coming about, as well as the whole ex-employees coming out about how they worked for Mr. Beast and how it was not a great working environment. And this is also when they announced that his friend Chris was not going to be filming with them any longer. August was a huge month. We have several to talk about. First, August is very demure, with the queen herself, became viral, gained so many followers, and took the internet by storm. Everyone was making videos about being demure, about this demure, that demure. Everything was demure in the month of August.
How I do my makeup for work? Very demure, very mindful. I don't come to work with a green cut crease.
The month that Justin Timberlake got caught and got arrested for a DUI and then ended up pleading guilty for lesser charges in the very next month of September. And believe it or not, this is also the month that It Ends With Us pictures of the set started coming out. The controversy already started about potential disagreements out on the set with It Ends With Us, about how the cast and crew unfollowed Justin Baldoni on social media. The really bad interviews Blake Lively did that just did not make it look good. Also, Blake Lively had a bunch of controversy about how she wanted this to look like a rom-com versus a very serious movie about domestic violence. Was all of that part of the Justin Baldoni plan to ruin Blake Lively? I don't know. That we will get to sooner rather than later. September was also a super busy month where Nick Avocado came out as losing so much weight. He recorded a bunch of videos for his social media ahead of time for years, and it came out that this was him. He had to prove to people that this was him because people just did not believe that he was capable of doing this. Some really weird videos came out that he had put out on social media, but this was one of the hot topics for the month of September.
So I am the villain. Because I've made myself one.
This was also the month of one of my favorite series. The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives TV show came out and took the internet by storm. So much controversy. Whitney had a tough month this month, bless her heart, and I am super excited for season 2. But this was the month that Secret Lives of Mormon Wives picked up, and it just absolutely took the internet by storm, and everyone was obsessed with this TV show.
I love the Mormon church, but there are a lot of rules that we have to follow. We were raised to be these housewives for the men, serving their every desire.
September was also the month where Sean Diddy Combs got arrested by federal agents in his New York City place, where he is now in federal prison in New York City, actually the same prison as Luigi Mangione. But this was a huge month for this case, as well as a huge month for baby oil at Costco. If you know, you know. I can't believe it's already been 3 months, but it was October where Liam Payne had his tragic accident where he did end up passing away from falling off of the balcony. This case is actually still being looked into. There's new information coming out with this case every single day, so we will keep updated with this case because it was absolutely tragic, and I think there is more to find out than we know right now that could potentially change how we look at this incident. But this was the unfortunate, tragic accident that took the internet by storm in October. November was a $12 million month, or let's say not a $12 million month for Brianna Chicken Fry. This is the month that it came out about them breaking up, and Brianna Chicken Fry opened up about her relationship with Zach Bryan and the potential DV that happened there, not necessarily physically, but at least emotionally. She did a BFF podcast where she came out with but tried to paint us a picture of what the relationship was like, and this was just a huge month for this situation. Zach Bryan came out with multiple songs because of the information coming out about him that Brianna Chicken Fry was talking about, but this took the internet by storm in November.
Get into details. I want to talk about the ending. And I also want to blame myself a lot for this, because half the reason this all happened to me.
December has been a crazy month with Luigi Mangione getting arrested for unaliving the CEO of United Healthcare. The internet is absolutely loving Luigi to the point where there's rumor that if you have shown support for Luigi online, that you could be potentially put on the FBI watch list. So be careful what you're posting. And we can absolutely not forget probably the biggest story of December, other than Luigi Mangione, is the Blake Lively lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. It started in August. It's continuing over in December. Justin's lawyer just spoke out about how they are countersuing and how people are going to be shocked about this. So we're going to have more of this in 2025, and I will be covering every piece of that, so make sure you subscribe. But this was a huge story for the month of December. People taking Blake's side, people taking Justin's side. I'm just on team. I need to know all the information before I take a side team. So let me know whose team you're on, if you're on a team. And drumroll please, the person that seemed to be in the media every single month in the year 2024 that gets my top, this is the 2024 story of the year, is Gypsy Rose. Between her and Ryan splitting up, and between her potentially going back to prison, to her getting with Ken, to her getting pregnant, to her TikTok getting hacked, to her book coming out, she had a full year, and there was a story I felt like I did on this girl every single month of the year 2024. You may disagree with me on this one, and I would love to know what you think the 2024 story of the year was, because in my personal opinion, I just felt like I did so many stories on Gypsy Rose the entire month. That is my 2024 gossip rumor recap of the year. There's a lot we didn't even include that were huge stories this year, but make sure you hit that subscribe button so that we can do a monthly recap each month. You don't miss any of the tea, the gossip, the rumors, the true crime, the news. We do it all on this page. Hit that subscribe button. My goal for 2025 is to hit 10,000 followers here on YouTube, and I'm currently at 280. So we have a long way to go, but we can do it. I just know it. Hit that subscribe button so you can help me get there. And thank you for watching. Let me know your favorite story of 2024. Thank you and goodbye.